It's the hot spot. Tell them what you got. Welcome through the hot spot. Getting straight off the top.
Even if you do become a successful man, do you think you're still do you think you still can get women even when you are like the top 10% man? Do you think it's still do you think it would be easy?
Like me?
I'm not you. I'm talking about men and successful men in
wife
general.
Watches this, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about successful men in general. Your perspective. Let's say this man, he has everything got going for him. You know,
What do you mean get women? Like
you
sleep
know,
with women?
I want to say sleep, but like actually, you know, try to
Like a relationship?
try to get a relationship,
yeah.
or even if it's just dating as well.
It'll be easy to get a woman to be in your corner, like be with you, absolutely. But who that woman is and what her intention is, that's the tricky part.
I disagree. I think
You think it'd be harder for a top 10% man to find a woman?
Yeah, I still disagree, especially in this era. The reason why, I think they got a grocery list of things that they need from a man
They want?
that they want.
Right, yeah.
So I wouldn't say, even if you do become successful, I don't think it's going to be easier. Maybe get you a foot in the door, but there's many more things you have to do in order to.
What would you estimate that most women would want from a top 10% guy?
Of course, he's already successful, but I mean, there's still other things. I mean,
Like what?
like, is he attractive?
Then I don't think that matters.
I mean, does he own a business, or is he like CEO status? Oh, what about this? What about that energy, vibe, the game?
Look, I hear what you're saying.
I can easily become, or most men can probably become a millionaire.
That I don't think that I don't fully agree with that. I think that if Ike Turner was alive today and he was still beating on women, but he was like a millionaire, he'd still pull the baddest chicks in the room. As an example, and
especially with his reputation.
I'm gonna give you a prime example. Chris Brown, when all that stuff went down with him and Rihanna, women were still paying to go to his concerts. Women were still screaming to get with him. They don't care.
But look at him though. Just look at Chris Brown. Right. He's got if
Chris Brown was working at McDonald's, women would not want him. They want to sleep with them.
Well, okay.
They want to sleep with him, but they wouldn't want to be in a relation. They would turn him down if some ugly millionaire came their way. You don't believe me?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I agree to a certain extent. You think they would actually stay with that millionaire?
I think proof's in the pudding, bro. I mean,
because I think millionaire just doesn't really mean much anymore.
Well, think of it like this: most women don't have access to top 10% men, right? So they have access to what's around them, what's near them.
Mm-hmm.
So because top 10% are not in every state and every city across the country. So most women only have access to their equals, essentially, right? So when the fatherlessness, the single motherhood in America is so high, it kind of proves my point. Like, women do not marry somebody just because they find them attractive. Single motherhood rate in the country basically speaks on that, right? That's the proof. You know what I mean? Women will sleep with whoever they find attractive in that moment. Even if they meet,
I wouldn't say just in the moment. It'll probably go for a while, but then
how many? There's a phrase called one night stand.
Well, yeah,
that's in the moment. Women will date, women will carry, women will be the girlfriend or the hookup or the side chick or whatever. But getting married is not. Is that what we're talking about, right? Getting married? Yeah. Women getting married today is not on their priority list.
And getting into a relationship and getting married.
Yeah, that's not on the priority list anymore.
No.
Women want the money. I don't think women want his looks. It's a bonus for women, but it's not necessary.
Okay, I see what you're saying when it comes down to a relationship or getting married, but still, he still represents. I mean, I would say he's probably most likely still get. Well, okay, you know what? You're right.
Got him.
Yeah, I mean,
got him.
I still think to a certain degree,
yeah,
woman still want that grocery list, and it's not like you can just pull up and just bag her
Well, what
just because you have money.
I'm still confused. What grocery list are we talking about? Because we're not talking about
We're talking
money.
about the six pack. We're talking about how
Okay.
tall he is. This is pretty much, the whole genetics type deal. Like, will the man give her the offspring that she wants in a sort of way? I mean, it's like a whole grocery list of
That's why
things.
most women are going to die single.
Yeah.
With this grocery list.
I mean, I'm telling you, that's just.
I don't know where women get off with the grocery list. You know what I mean? Like if you're okay, if you are a 25-year-old, 24-year-old, and somehow you're making some good money, you went to college, you got a career right out of college, and you're just slaying out there and you're killing it, and you're making six figures a year. Does this woman in question, I don't care about the race, does she have a right to say, I only date men who make as much as me, if not more, look this way, have this physical attributes? Does she have a right? Absolutely. Is she most likely going to get that man? No. For her to be as successful as she is, she has to have a certain type of mentality. Mm-hmm. That alpha mentality.
You can just say masculine. You got to have a masculine.
She has to have some. That's another thing, man. It's not necessarily an alpha.
It's mentality. A masculine trait. I guess
she has to have some type of masculinity in her. Two people with heavy masculine traits at their forefront will not work.
But what if she chooses to bring out that, she chooses to turn on the feminine woman, though?
Well, okay. I'm gonna go Kevin Samuels on your ass. Okay, so it's conditional. All right. So would she be interested in a feminine man?
It's 2024.
The likelihood. Let's talk about probabilities, right? Yeah. The likelihood of an alpha.
Hey, I'm just trying to defend the woman.
A female with an alpha mentality, the hard charger, is most likely not going to be going after or even interested in a effeminate man. It's just not likely to happen. Mm-hmm. Is it possible? Of course it is, but it's not likely. Most women who, when they describe the kind of man they want, effeminate is not on that grocery list.
What do they say? They say, oh, he just can't handle this, or he's
insecure.
Yeah, he's insecure.
Can't handle a confident woman.
I say this, like, why should I have to handle you?
No.
Why should I have to come home after work, hardest day, just slaying away to make this money for the both of us?
Yeah, to fulfill that requirement she said.
Yeah. And you want me to come home and I have to handle you? Right. Like, I want to come home. And I would say this above all, and I think this is the way of the thinking in this era, and especially this new era.
Right.
We want our peace. I think that goes above money. I think that goes even just above social lifestyle in a sort of way. Like, we can just isolate ourselves. Like, I just want my peace.
The more women who carry on this attitude, this mentality of he has to do this, and he has to be that, and he has to provide, and we have to talk, and we have to go back and forth, and he has to be able to handle my attitude. No, they don't.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you're successful.
Women need to understand that. Like, there's more of them than there are of 1% guy or 10% guys. The faster they understand that, the faster they'll realize that it seems. I've seen so many young women say this, like, talk about this. You better have this. He has to have that. Imagine never finding him. Now imagine you're 60. Now imagine you're 70. And all you have is your girlfriends that you drink wine. You drink wine with.
You got your dog. You got your cats.
Got your dog. Got your cat.
Got your Zootopia in your apartment.
You're watching your stories, and then you go to work. And then you work at CVS or wherever you work, or you work at, or wherever you work, whatever you're doing. Maybe you're happy. Maybe you love your job. Maybe you love your career. And then you go home and it's empty. You got no kids. You got no.
Oh, yeah. She's crying at night, bro.
Imagine you're 60, 65, 70, and you have no legacy. You have nothing that honestly really cares about you other than your friends. Imagine being that old and you have nobody there. Like, it's fine now because we're still able to hustle. We're still able to get out there and try to make something happen. You throw out a hip, you twist your knee, and you're limping around the house. Ain't no jobs trying to hire a 67-year-old that can't walk.
I would say that most men, we've dealt with loneliness way longer to end up in that kind of depressing way. So we know how to be alone way better than women do.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's definitely a benefit, but you got to remember, women are on the clock.
Yeah.
Men can wait till they're 50, 60 before they start their family.
It's the hot spot. Tell them what you got. Welcome to the hot spot. Get straight off the top.